Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Right, first off, I hope we've been enjoying these preambles, and sorry if I'm kind of a bit awkward and stuff, and these are a bit like maybe a bit dreary and all these sorts of things, but I'm still working on angles. I'm still doing things. This is the back catalogue, people, and in the future we're going to see some good stuff, exciting stuff. So this probably won't be the first things you see, and maybe by now you really do like my stuff, or you hate me, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe we'll work in some jokes and stuff. Who knows what's going to go on in the future? Not me, but anyway, for now, it is September, and we're doing these half season stuff, jokes, terms, topics, and there's some good stuff coming up soon. But today we've just carried on from this idea of the world of seven, the previous world, and we're in the world of six now, and we were talking about satyrs, and now this is the human world, okay? And what does it mean for the human world, the dog world, right? And all these sorts of things, and what are the aspects in this reality that we know it, okay? So in the world of seven, as we talked about previously, or I touched on previously, I believe that maybe there was a lot of like plant life and all these sorts of spiritual lives, which had a lot more things, were probably worked on more of this like lifeblood and products of life, like actual products, like this land of milk and honey and sorts of thing, rather than actually having to eat the flesh of dead creatures, and like nectars, and they say the nectar of the gods and all these sorts of things, and now actually those things have been sort of withered away by different reasons and different holds of life, and being taken, stripping back from us, and we as humans have to eat to survive, and that potentially has some damaging effects on us. And obviously a lot of good stuff comes from the nutrients, the nectars, and all these sorts of things, which the essences of life that we actually have to extract. But if those things actually weren't so thorn and berry, as you might say, and they were actually more producing things, and actually encouraged to do that sort of thing, we could actually reap a lot of health benefits, and that is a truth. But what I'm saying is, in this world of six, now if all these things have been sort of closed down and shut down into sort of fruiting these strange fruits, which have been heavily cultivated, then I don't know, these sorts of weird pulp coverings that sort of incubate and try to actually preserve life, or life actually has to fight and thing. This is what I'm saying, is potentially those things have actually been put together to flesh and to create food for us to consume, because maybe creating like juices from a plant might take quite a long time. So if you could just have something which could lock in all those nutrients, and then you could pluck that fruit at a certain time and then consume it like that, that could do us a lot of favors. So maybe that's the thing. And that's what I think maybe fruiting has come from. Now, in the beginning of the Holy Bible, in the Garden of Eden, there's an apple, isn't there? The fruit of all knowledge, right? Which comes from the tree, and they eat it, and it turns them into humans, which have which won't be able to live forever, as they say. Adam and Eve, and before that, it was just man, right? So what I'm thinking is, what if maybe at some point there was all these fruits and these things, but before fruit, sorry, and fruits was actually from a product of life which had to be created to sustain life and to carry life on, and that has led us to the world that we are in today, which is the world of six, and this pattern of six that we know it, and not this sort of weird four-dimensional fractal, but actually sort of a 3D realm space of like structure and death and life and stuff, and actually male and female counterparts, rather than this sort of transient, beautiful, ethereal realm. So I don't know, the fruit of all knowledge in the world of six. I don't really know what else I can add on to that point, really. But yeah, I don't know. I do think there could be a progression, there could be a regression, even more, and maybe we are at the sort of the threshold of our existence. And obviously it can get worse, but it can definitely get a lot better, healthier, and more interesting, if that's what we'd want it to do. Because I do think obviously it would also be quite harder to manage, and maybe a bit harder to constrain, but it could also be quite beautiful and interesting, and the music that you'd hear would be quite different and more potent. And but there are probably other realms in human consciousness that we slip in and out of, but it would be about potentially drawing those into the reality of things, and enjoying those fruits that we haven't ever been able to experience or don't know, and all these sorts of things, and can't necessarily speak about because we don't have words for them, and all these sorts of things. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Weird numbers, 666, and it could also tie in with the whole 666 thing. So yeah, bit of a weird conspiracy angle for you people that you might enjoy. Maybe you can look into that for what you will, and come up with your own conspiracies and shooting them back to me. But yeah, that's the world of 6 and the world of 7 before. And you know, maybe the world of 8 would be, you know, everlasting life, and the world of 5 would be sort of like a Satanist world, you know. There we go. There we go, anyone. Anyway, and that's that pretty much. When the world of 6, anything else? Anything else? Not that I can think of really. Not that I can think of. But yeah, I'm sure you can sort of pick up these points and aspects that I'm sort of talking about here. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And lastly, for this week is another one. We're going to talk about fantasy and lies. So join me now, if you will, for that one. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.